Why a town hall on education? Good question. At a recent, sorry, I'm Colonel Mark Evans. I'm the Mission Support Group Commander here at McConnell. And so education programs sort of fall in my lane. And some of the people that are here tonight to answer questions you might have they work for me. So the reason that we're having the town hall tonight is just because at a recent forum for leadership spouses that there were some questions asked about schools, local schools, and what sort of influence we might have over them, and just some questions about that. And so we thought, well, these people are asking questions, and they're the ones that are kind of in the know. Maybe there are other questions out there that people have. So let's hold a forum, an event like this, to provide an opportunity for you to ask whatever questions that you might have about our programs and services. Additionally, we are going to take tonight as an opportunity to roll out a new program. It has an acronym, like everything does in the military. P.A.S.S, P-A-S-S, Parent Advocates for Students in Schools. And it's really designed to be kind of a parent-led organization that networks parents together to help them sort of draw from each other experiences, issues, concerns, and work together to raise those, either issues, questions, needs, whatever the case might be, to hopefully people that can help address those. So it's a program that we're going to sort of describe for you using some trusty PowerPoint slides here in short order. But first of all, I need to introduce a few key people, because I'm not really the expert at all this, but I slept at a Holiday Inn last night, and I know people who are. So, so first of all, we have here with us the principal from Wyantier Elementary, just over the fence. This is Mr. Clint Corby, so he'll be able to address any questions you might have about Wyantier Elementary School. You'll be able to hear it directly from the source, from the authority. Also, we have the director of our Airman and Family Readiness Center, Ms. Mary Reese, standing over here. She is responsible for not only the school liaison program, but also all other sorts of personal and family issues. The center serves a variety of needs. And the last person that I want to introduce is our school liaison officer in charge of the school liaison program. She's your advocate to the school system for any questions or issues or whatever that you might have. So that's Miss Angela Edwards right here in the front row. Okay. So I think that does it for the introductions. So at this point in time, I will turn the floor over to Angela to describe this program that we're kicking off. And then we'll get to the questions.
Okay, and I see a lot of familiar faces, but for those of you I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, I just want to talk a little bit about what it is that I do and what I can do for you and for your children. I'm located in Airman and Family Readiness, which is building 732. Stop by and see us. If you haven't already, we always have lots of fun stuff going on. But I can provide information for inbound and outbound families. If you're getting ready to P.C.S., come see me. We'll contact the school liaison officer at your next installation. We'll go ahead and start getting some information so you can plan where you want to live when you get to that next phase. And I can cover public schools, private schools, homeschooling, and virtual schools, and the public schools includes charter schools. That's not a real big thing right here in Wichita right now. I educate school staff about issues impacting military kids. I've been to Wyantier to meet with Mr. Corby's staff. A lot of people in this community don't have any ties to the military. It's hard for them to comprehend what your kids are going through. So I can go in and just kind of give them a better idea. Hey, this is what happens. You know, keep an eye out on these kids. Be communicating with the parents when they're deployed. Deployment is a huge struggle sometimes for kids. I monitor federal and state legislation. The Interstate Compact is a big one. If you haven't heard of that, we'll be talking a lot about that with P.A.S.S. But that's the rights of your children. Most states have signed it. I think we're up to want to say 38 states now, and that's basically when you move, what rights do your children have to help them transition better to the next schools. If you have issues, please let me know. Sometimes I know as parents you're very invested in your children. It's very emotional for you. Sometimes it helps to have that third party kind of step in, and maybe I can call the school and say, here's what I'm hearing, what's going on, how can we resolve this issue? I'm happy to help with any of that. And then information on graduation requirements. I try and keep up with scholarships, anything with getting ready to send your kids off to college. Parent Advocates for Students in Schools. This is a new program that's rolling out AMC-wide right now. And it started at Scott. They've been piloting it there. It's a really great program, but it's going to be a volunteer organization that provides with military parents ways to learn more and to advocate for their children effectively. The more knowledge we can give you, the better advocate you're going to be for your child, and you are your child's best advocate. You know them better than anybody else. So we're going to meet monthly, get some networking done then, and then we'll also have a series of workshops. Right now there are 5 core workshops. Starting your child in school, that's going to be for our little friends going to pre-K and kindergarten. How do you get ready for that? What skills, what kind of paperwork do you need to have? IEPs. Here in Kansas, we have IEPs for special education, and that includes gifted kids. So we do have a lot of students on IEPs for whatever their need is. So how do what are your rights as a parent of a child on an IEP? College preparation, that starts with really 7th grade. College is getting more and more competitive these days. So the earlier you can start kind of thinking about what classes do my kids need to be taking, how are they going to be competitive to apply to the college of their choice. Working with the school, we're going to try and do this one right around conference time, so you can be prepared to go in and, again, be an effective advocate. How are you going to best work with your school personnel? And then the last one is going to be transitions. What kind of paperwork should you start gathering now to help your kids smoothly transition? And we'll talk a little bit about interstate contact in that one. Those are the 5 core workshops that we already have. Those are ready to go as soon as we kind of get a group together. And then we have the ability to tailor that program. So if we have, a group of people and you come up with a great idea for a workshop, we can absolutely go ahead and develop that one. We're going to bring in some panelists for some of these. We're going to try and do them at least twice a year. So I have all kinds of information on the table back here. There are brochures. If you're ready to sign up and volunteer tonight, I've got volunteer forms ready to go. You can give those to me, or you can drop them back off at the AFRAC. And we're going to have that first meeting 2 weeks from today. It'll be November 15th at 1 o'clock at Airman and Family Readiness. Anybody have any quick questions for me on that one?
I just want to clarify something. Just because you sign up as a volunteer does not mean you're teaching the classes.
Correct.
Because we had some people think, oh, I'm not going to sign up, I don't want to teach.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities to volunteer. You can just come in, you can come to the meetings, throw around ideas. You can help recruit panelists from your children's school to come and sit on our panels. You can help with marketing, with recruiting other parents. There's a whole list of stuff on the sheet that you can go over. Yeah, and it's it's as much time as you can commit to it. There's no requirements. And again, it's something that we can tailor to fit the needs of our population here at McConnell. Yep, 10 working group meetings. Research what's going on at other bases. We'll try and start a parent resource center. I have a lot of materials already, but if we can think of ideas to get even more things to have available for parents at Airman and Family Readiness. We can certainly start making a list when that money comes down. We can order those. And a lot of things are free. The U.S. Department of Education provides all kinds of free materials we can go ahead and order. Alrighty.
Is the meeting at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock?
Oh, it's at 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. Extra 1. Yeah, it'll be at 1 p.m. I had to move that around. We've got a lot going on at AFRAC. Alrighty. 11, so if you want to go ahead and if you want to open the floor to questions, concerns.
Yeah, so that's the program that we're rolling out, getting started tonight. So if you have questions about that, feel free to ask now. If you have other questions about other issues, we've got our experts here, team of experts, and hopefully we can answer any of those questions that you might have. So at this point, in good town hall fashion, I'll open up the floor to anybody that has a question or comment or anything else. Anybody?
Major Giles.
Yes, you there in the back.
Always be ready with a question. How is participating with the parent-teacher organization at my school different from being a part of the P.A.S.S program?
Yeah, two very different groups. Parent-teacher organizations are going to be at each school. And do you guys meet monthly? And that's going to be a lot of focus on the needs of that particular school. P.A.S.S is focused on the needs of military children and the mobile military lifestyle, and how can we best prepare these children to be successful, to be resilient as we're moving from base to base. So a little bit of a different focus there.
Will the two intertwine though at times?
Yeah,
so
certainly.
So that the local community knows how, the children deal with the changes and stuff, and understand more. And forgive me, when you told me that the local community wasn't abreast with what was going on, I was a little taken back, because McConnell's been here forever, and you would think that most people who deal with the base, especially the kids have been coming in and going out of all these schools for many, many, many years, they should be up to speed on, okay, this has been going on, especially since 9/11 and all. So that's where our focus, I think, after 9/11 and the more deployments that came up, and dad being gone or mom being gone so much, that's been known for 10 years. If we're just now starting this now, I'm really surprised.
Yeah. And certainly they can overlap. If you are an active member of your PTO, PTA, you can absolutely go and try and recruit other parents, explain to the PTO there, what it is we're doing, what we've got going on, share ideas. Absolutely. What we find with McConnell is our kids are in, I would guess, anywhere from 12 to 15 school districts. It was staggering to me the first time I ran the numbers. So in Derby, they're pretty used to our kids. Wine-Tier, 68% of their student body is military. They for the most part are familiar with it, but we've got a growing population out in Andover. We've got a growing population out in Goddard. We've got kids in Mays, the Wichita Public Schools, and they're not as familiar. And sometimes they don't know that their kids are there. They're not tracking as well as they could be. We're trying to encourage them to track a little bit better. Not just their active duty kids, but their Guard and Reserve kids too, because like you said, since 9/11, our Guard and Reserve folks have been activated constantly. So we are working on that, but yeah, it is, with as far spread as our population is, at some districts it is a little bit of an issue for them to know.
How can P.A.S.S help my child who may have special needs?
With special needs, that's going to be, we're going to be linked in. Kelsey Riff is our ESMP coordinator. She sits on the committee, and then she'll be working on the IEP workshop. And that will be an entire workshop dedicated to, understanding the special needs programs. How does your IEP team work? How often should you be meeting with them? And what are your rights as the parent of a special needs child? That one's a pretty in-depth workshop. And if we find that we have a lot more questions that one's not covering, like I said, this is something we can adapt. So we can certainly consider adding additional programs, additional workshops.